Hey, it's Kat at Kattalestv. I don't even know how to do this podcast. I'm going to call it a podcast. Just want to make sure I'm still, yeah. Anywho, fuck. Long story short, I think Kate Middleton is dead. Deceased. Possibly from strangulation. But I do not believe she's alive. Not that it matters what I think. But, to be honest with you, about a month ago, I was getting some very, very strange feelings, indications that Kate was in danger. It just did not seem right. I did a bunch of videos, and I did some research, and it's on my timeline. But to pull this together is that I studied psychopathic narcissism, as well as psychopathy, as well as like serial killer characteristics, because like I've mentioned multiple times in different videos, I wrote a script a while back about a vampire, and I did research. But one thing I did notice about living in Los Angeles, there's a lot of psychopathic narcissism. I mean, any actress or actor or influencer has a little bit of narcissism in them. So a self-aware person is going to know that about themselves. But there is such things as malignant narcissism and characteristics of psychopathic narcissism that, you start to see, and you're able to discern based on other cases, based on your own experiences, when things are not right. And suffice it to say, all the world is a stage, and we are the players, and there are a lot of players. And just on the surface, as an observer who I have no interest in the monarchy, really. But it seems like there's a part of me that wants to help when I see somebody in distress, even if I don't know them. Some might call it a weakness. I don't know. I'm just trying to deal with it. But it just seems a lot of people weren't looking at the obvious. Just looking at Kate Middleton, and the seriousness that some of the people online were demanding that she be called Catherine and not Kate. It showed ownership. It showed more interest in titles than the person. It smacked of elitism. We're better than you, blah, blah, blah. We're not even going to get into the racism against Meghan Markle, but I find these people fascinating, the people in the royal family, because they are inbred. And they have a blood disease, and it causes swelling of the body. I did a video about this, but all I'm trying to say is it's amazing how people who carry themselves like they are better than everyone and above the law. A king is above the law. A prince is not, but a king is above the law. He can kill, he can do whatever, but he has absolute power and he can do whatever he wants according to British law. But anyway, let's get back to the point. These people with a history of stealing wealth, not only from resources, but from peoples of different continents and countries, just straight out stealing and enslaving and raping. And did I say killing? People, just to steal their resources. These people think they're better than everyone. They think they're so clever. And what I found with the avalanche of fake images and videos of Kate Middleton and her kids over the last, I don't even know how long. It seems like it's almost been a year the way it's been going on, but it reeked of psychopathy and arrogance. And believe me, no matter what your common sense says, and that reminded me of Prince Andrew when he was being called out on his Jeffrey Epstein connection. And if you don't know, I covered Jeffrey Epstein in 2019 when I was in New York. I was in New York when he passed away. If he actually passed away, because I'm not really sure. His body could have been switched out, and the way they can make people look dead, but they're actually alive, and his body was never really seen once it left the hospital by somebody else, legit, and his body was allegedly taken to Florida. There's no guarantee. You know what I'm saying? But let's get back to the point. The point is that air of, you should just believe me because I'm such an honorable person, bullshit, that Andrew had. It seems like with the pictures and the videos of the fake Kate Middletons and the fake kids showed that the person doing that held the people in such disdain, and they thought they were so clever, that, in my opinion, is the action of a killer or a psychopath. And I'm not an expert. I'm just saying. It reminds me of so many other people who try to outsmart other people and made excuses and lies. Like, what's his name? Brian Laundrie, who came back home without his girlfriend after they went on like a cross-country trip in her van. He shows up back home where she lived with him to his parents' home in her van without her. And her parents are asking, where's our daughter? Where's Gabby? And he's not answering. And then he ends up leaving and then commits suicide. That's the kind of actions of a fucking narcissist, psychopath, that I'm seeing in this case with Kate Middleton. And I'm going to call it a case, because where the hell is she? Every time they tell a story, it changes. She's supposed to be back in April. They put out all these fake images. TMZ, or TM0 as I like to call it, they even helped abuse another woman. They have a history of doing that, by the way. Harvey really doesn't like women. If you know, you know. But for TMZ to get involved with the British monarchy, promoting the footage of the lady that was way younger than Kate and carrying a shopping bags and walking underneath Christmas ornaments hanging in the background. I mean, how stupid do they think people are? And recently, Charlotte, they made a picture of Charlotte, and she's wearing the same clothes she had on in old photographs. These people have such disdain for us. They really do. And on that note, we should have disdain for their actions, because these are the actions of a psychopath. These are the actions of a narcissist. And it makes me just, besides being sad, because I don't like seeing anybody suffer, it's just unfortunate that Kate Middleton's parents, and I'm assuming her mother, and I guess her father too, but I have some strange feeling that her mother really pushed her to go after William. That ambition, that ambition to go for the crown, for the reward, for the money, for the fame. And there is definitely a price. And you have to pay for it. And I think Kate paid for her life. What's even sad is that her children, they can't really show her children. I know the heir to the throne went to a soccer match, and with him was Rose Hansberry's son, who could possibly be his brother, but he doesn't know that. But anyway, William had the balls to bring Rose Hansberry's son with his son, his heir. And if you look at the video, his son looks so exhausted. His eyes are so swollen and dark, and he just doesn't look happy. He looks like he's forced to go to that football game, against his will. Imagine being that young and your mom, you haven't seen your mom for a very long time, and your dad makes you go out and put on a good show. I mean, I guess that's what the royals do. They put on a good show. They are actors. They're performers. They're a circus. They pretend to be a happy family. They masquerade as the epitome of white upper class European elitism and the best of the best. But a righteous person would never put out fake photographs. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4, but 8 or 9. And they think they can dupe the whole world with their bullshit. And then they blame the wife that supposedly has cancer. And then they put out stories that, she did it. I was there, but she did it. And she wrote this message saying she apologized, and all these other excuses, one after the other, one more preposterous than the next. And it's just shameful. And people should, I don't know what's wrong with people. I'm not even British. It seems that I care more and some Americans care more, and they're more outraged than the British public. The aristocrats, I can never say that word right because it's garbage. The aristocrats, they keep making excuses for what William and the British press are doing. I'm not saying all the people, but they've got a plethora of assholes on social media trying to act like everything's normal and everything's fine, which is insane. You should see what's going on Twitter. It's crazy. They keep posting photographs of like Kate in her wedding, and it's just like, yo, do you guys have a picture of Kate like today, yesterday, last week? Like, why do you keep bringing up the past? And then they start putting out stories that she chased William and blah, blah, blah. And then I heard a story that William's saying that Kate likes to swim in the cold at night by herself and she's mentally unwell. He's doing the setup. But what's really frightening is how crazy is William? How mentally unstable this man must be to think he can fool everyone. I mean, seriously. And the battle that must be going on between him and his father, because they keep putting out things that Charles is really close to death and he's not going to last long, and then Charles and Camilla make personal appearances and make sure they do photo ops. But meanwhile, Will can barely go to a soup kitchen without being a fraud. He can barely go out and make appearances. And he's supposed to be the future king? It's all fake. It's all fake. It's pathetically gross and disgusting. And if he actually murdered Kate Middleton, I hope he gets the justice he deserves. The way things are going right now, it's just like, there's so many people getting away with really foul things, and it seems like they've gotten away with it because they're making certain people a lot of money. But I'll leave you with this. Lucian Grange, or Granage, or whatever the hell his name is, the head of Universal, he was knighted by William in 2016. So there is a connection with Diddy. Besides Diddy, I think he performed at that concert for Harry and William's mom's memory, but it's just wild. All these things are connected even though they're supposedly not. But yeah, say a prayer for Kate Middleton because I think she's deceased. And we'll probably never know what happened to Thomas Kingston officially, truly. Who knows? You can't believe anything anymore. It means nothing. What they say, especially the British press, because they're trying to hold on to that monarchy, even though it makes no sense. But they're, white privilege and elitism is more important than the truth. You know that, right? But yeah. I hope Kate is at rest wherever she is. And I hope her parents realize that forcing your child to stay married to an abuser, allegedly, and to go after him, pursue him at all costs to bring the family wealth, has consequences. And it's fascinating that the Met Gala I think their theme is something about Sleeping Beauty or Sleeping Princess or something weird. So there's just too many weird signs and coincidences that something is really, really wrong. And, again, I hope the truth comes out, but you talk about karma. The son became his father, and the father became his son. And, I wonder if Kate had to do it all over again. If she'd marry William for those fleeting moments of fame and people, applauding her or envying her, if she would let it go to have a simple life with a man that actually loved her and didn't hurt her. I wonder. Some people, they want fame more than anything else in the world, but it's not real love. It's glamour. It's smoke and mirrors. And you have to pay the price behind the curtain. There's a psychic that mentioned tears of blood in her reading, which blew my mind because Vlad the Impaler, who Prince Charles brags about being related to, he used to actually cry tears of blood. He had a blood disorder. But it was just crazy that she mentioned it. She also believes Kate Middleton is deceased. But I guess we will find out soon enough. Or maybe not. But they released, the British press released that Kate Middleton will not be seen for the near future, whatever that means, with no explanations. But they got time to bitch and moan about Harry and Meghan. This will teach you an important lesson about how these people get down. I'm going to check and see if this is still recording. Oh, it is. Yay! So, yeah, thank you for listening. This is Kat at Kattalestv. But, yeah, if someone shows you signs of them being a psychopathic narcissist, and they hit you, abuse you, don't care about your feelings, let this be a warning to you. Get out. Get out before it's too late. Don't listen to your parents. Don't listen to religion. Trying to force you to stay married no matter how he treats you. Don't believe that. Well, I won't go into that. Maybe for another video, but sometimes you have to trust your instincts and not your desire, not your lower nature for superficial stuff. Sometimes love